No, the locate command works based off of, like, regions. I think you've noticed this as well, that, like... Did I talk that to you, or was that with Oscar? I'm actually confused. But it's the same with, like, desert temples. Sometimes you can be, like, on top of a desert temple, and it will locate a different one. Because it's, like, the structural region thing. I think it's based on the structural regions. It's super weird. Minecraft is so weird. These technicalities make no sense. Oh, you looked at chunk base. Oh. Well, chunk base could be wrong. I don't know. Actually, check in-game. Yeah, I'm super sorry, guys. We are gonna do some tracker development. I'm gonna do some coding now. I've never really done this, but I'll be doing some coding on stream now because I don't see myself resetting for another 2 hours. Because the main issue is, if I do get a run going now, I'll just not have first enchant. And, like, I don't see the point in, like, getting an hour into the run and then having to call it that. Like, it's so stupid. I wanna... When I start a run, I wanna have more time to, like, play the beginning of the run. Because another annoying thing is, when you have a couple days in between runs, you just don't know what, like, stuff you had in your inventory. And, like, you waste so much time. When you come back to a run after a couple days, you waste so much time, like, checking what equipment you have, what stuff you've already done. Like, it always takes so much time to get back into the run and, like, loses so much time. So ideally, obviously, for, like, newer versions, this is not really feasible. But ideally, you would want to have, like, the entire run happen in a single stream. Which again, for these longer versions, or, like, older versions, it's not possible. But that would be perfect, because then you constantly just know exactly what you have and what you have done, and you have a better plan in your head. So, yeah. We're gonna work on the tracker. Let's do that. Let's close Ninja Brain. Me hacking the mainframe, yeah. Let's just go. So I have a couple ideas I want to do. I'm still not visualizing anything. And I have to do some testing. So basically, I'm still very bad at C, so I'll be using my good old friend Gemini, and I mean a lot. And nobody can blame me for that. That's the age we live in. And I'm still piecing the ideas together, and I still fully understand the code. Like, I literally just spent documenting... right here. This is the most recent code documentation. I documented everything. What every function, what everything does. This is, like, really important for me. So, like, I fully know what every part of the code does. But I just like if I get some assistance on the logic. So, to get you guys up to speed, what we're currently working with. I'm going to first do a bit of an introduction on, like, what I'm developing. So, this is called Advancedly. You can see, like... can we refresh this? This is the logo. Very cool stuff. I did Photoshop a little bit. It's not all AI generated. I did some basic readme stuff already. But you guys know AA tool, which is like the tracker I had on today. My tracker basically allows you to fully customize what you want to track. Yeah, it's very fun. 100%. It's very fun. And I don't see an issue with that. Like, especially for logos. Like, ChatGPT was able to generate an image that was fully transparent. Like, it still had some issues on the edges, but, like, it was fully transparent on the background, which was crazy. But in Photoshop, for example, I moved this inner part. Like, this is basically a complete advancement. This is like an advancement tree kind of thing. I moved this entire thing, like, to the left a little bit to make it more lined up, more centered, and, like, up a bit, I think, as well. Here, I kind of corrected this part of the creeper face a little bit, and I made sure, like, the edges look cleaner. That's what I've done. ChatGPT is incredible. Yeah, this is from ChatGPT. So basically, I need to use this special console. This is like a C compiler console, whatever. And we're gonna launch the tracker. Again, it doesn't display anything yet. Maybe we'll get to something displaying today, but, like, I think today I want to look through Oscar's code as well. Maybe we can do that. Maybe that's interesting. I don't know what will be interesting with the stream. It's going to get very technical. And I definitely want to make some progress and not just like explain what everything does. You were going in the right direction in the beginning. You didn't work. Yeah, I don't know. It was like leading me in circles. And like terrain was just like not going where I should have been. Where like stuff really was. I knew I was like circling something. It was just very odd. But basically, this is like the overlay window. Currently it's default to like this blue. This, you can chroma key out. This is where it's like gonna be animated. This is where the advancement's gonna be animated. This is the actual tracker window that you're looking at. One thing I wanted to do immediately was, let's set the, oh, I just closed file utils.c. One thing I wanted to do immediately was setting the tracker window to always be on top as well. So you just do a logical OR on these flags. These are basically like 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, and when if you use like this OR, you basically put these flags together. It's whatever. It's an SDL thing. SDL. Whenever I say SDL, SDL is like, it's called Simple Direct Media Layer. SDL is what allows me to use GPU rendering and all that stuff. That's like the main framework behind everything. This like SDL3. This is like the latest SDL3. Like Oscar, when he gave me like his tracker code, he was still using SDL2, but I'm using the updated version now. Yeah, GPUs are great. But basically, let me recompile. So when I'm deleting these folders, I basically, so there's this CMake lists. This CMake lists, my face is like in the way. Let me put the face in like the bottom. I will try and make things a little understandable of what I'm doing. This CMake lists, this txt file is basically there to tell what files it should use to create the exe file. So this basically tells the program everything it needs to create this .exe file. So this is always what you need to run. It's going to create a like debug and a release. This is where everything that's going to be in the release folder is what you guys will get as like the finished program. And now we can compile it. And yeah, it doesn't work because I'm like in middle of changing things. That's why it doesn't work. And I'm also treating I'm treating any error, any warning. I'm treating any warning as an error, which means I need to fix every small warning for everything to compile. So like I'm very, very strict. I'm very, very strict. Making sure everything works. And the main thing with like C is that you need to free memory and like everything. You can see that like if I go to tracker.c, this file has like 1200 lines at this point. But you can see right here, for example, you need to free everything. You need to free like certain parts of the data. You need to free the renderer, which is for the window. You need to free the window itself. You need to set everything to null. Null is basically like zeroing everything. But you have to do that like everywhere. Chasing the lead, for example, freeze this stuff. Like you have to do that everywhere. Yeah, this is a big file. Yeah, I need to actually get this working. So to explain, I now can't show it because I've overwritten it. Basically, there's a functionality within Advancedly, which is the tracker that I'm working on. There's a functionality where you're able to increase and decrease custom counters with hotkeys. And currently, the hotkeys only work when you're tabbed into the tracker. And I want to make those hotkeys global. The thing is, I'm supporting Linux, Windows, and macOS with this tracker. But for macOS, I can't make the hotkeys global. So Linux and Windows will have the hotkeys global, but macOS won't. macOS is going to have the hotkeys only work when you're tapped into the tracker. But for Windows, I can definitely make it work that when you're in Minecraft, you can still change the counter within the tracker, which is going to be really, really huge. But that we'll figure out today, now, basically. Zoom like relay is cross-platform for the library design provide LNXS audio, keyboard, mouse tracing, graphics, hardware, OpenGL, and Directed 3D. Exactly. That's why I only knew about the control thing. Oh, it makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's pretty cool. This is currently the settings file. You can say, hey, you want to have your safe pass. So let me start from the beginning. You create template files. That's how they look like. I'll make like a .json editor in like the settings, but basically you will be able to manually create these so-called template files. They are going to say exactly which advancements you want to track. You can track advancements. You can track advancements. You can track also like everything that is within the April Fool's snapshot, the latest one. You can track, yeah, so this is still advancements. You can track recipes. You can track stats with a target. You can track unlocks, which is from the April Fool's snapshot. You can make custom goals, which when they have a target, that's when you can, when they have a target, that's when you have a counter. You can add, like, count them up individually. If they don't have a target, then they're just a manual toggle. Like, you click on it, it gets completed. You click on it, it gets uncompleted. This is target of 5, so this is like a manual counter for like Deep Set Emerald, whatever. And this is like, I'll explain more. And then there's multi-stage goals, which basically, it means if you mine 8 dirt, if you mine 8 dirt, it proceeds to the next stage, then you have to get this unlock, then you have to get the advancement, and what, like, one thing gets completed, the other thing gets revealed. It's like a multi-stage thing. Pretty crazy. But that all works already. What we're now gonna work towards is actually figuring out how the global hotkeys work. All right, let me see. Where was I? I think I noted down where I was. Did I note that down here? Did I not? I'm stupid. Okay, whatever. Whatever. I have like so many pieces of paper here. Okay, I'm actually gonna change the category and everything. My own Minecraft tracker development. So I hope you guys still enjoy this now. It's gonna be something different. I'll probably do this a little more because I just have too much motivation to get this done. Programming. What's the category for software development? I don't know. Software and games development. There we go. Okay. Oh, but I didn't change the title. Wait, what? Craft tracker development. So many things to change. Wait, what? It's not copying anything. Okay. Yeah. Or it's just in the 6 obby. But if Northeast turning back and not when oh my god. Oh my god, and I had the looting too. Like, MT, stop talking about the seed. It's over. I can't do much anything. I can't do anything. I can't do anything. I can't get anything from that seed anymore. I died. I hate coping like that. Okay. So the main idea is I now need to implement the functionality that the hotkeys don't only work when tabbed into the tracker, but they work all the time. Rib! Oh my god, Rib screws me over all the time. Rib as well. That's insane. Okay. Now let's just continue. I need to go into main.c. In main.c, you'll have like the main program flow. Everything is triggered from this one function. All other functions are somehow called within this function, or it's function calls and function calls and function calls, like whatever. But everything happens in here. So if you go through the program flow, everything will appear somewhere. Double rib. Oh my god, man. Oh my god. Okay, we've done that. Basically, if you're confused why there's like a .c file and a .h file, the .h file basically always has definitions for the file. You basically split definitions and actual functions, kind of. Yeah. And it's really important to have these .h files because you can import certain function definitions into other files via the .h files. That's how that works. Otherwise, it's going to say like the function is undefined or whatever. So what I've recently done in the hotkey manager, right here, this basically converts button presses to what Windows can read. It's a very specific thing. It's on this link, but it doesn't really matter. I'm just supporting all like the main keys that make sense as hotkeys. So you're really flexible. You can set anything you want as a hotkey that is in here. That is also all on my README file. This function will run an own thread. Okay, that's what I've done, right? Double T. Okay, so we create a hotkey binding. This is for like the increment hotkey. This is for the decrement hotkey. This is for hotkey messages. Yeah, this is Windows stuff. I don't look too much into this. Yeah, right. We'll be working on Linux and Mac OS implementation as well. Then the hotkey manager has to be started and stopped. Yeah, right. That makes sense. Because it's running... What did I just do? Because it's running on its own thread. Basically, when I'm talking about threads, they're like processes that access certain parts of files. And you want to make sure that that two different processes don't access like the same file or whatever. That's when you see like a mutex. This, yeah, mutex. Mutex stands for mutual exclusion. It's basically like if you have two workers that do something and they like shouldn't access the same file at the same time, because then it would like mess with things. I'll not be able to explain everything. Aaron, how familiar are you with like C code? I'm sure you could actually help me a bit, but because I'm still I started learning like 3 weeks ago and I'm already making like a hella complicated program. But yeah, we love AI. Certainly helpful. Okay, that's all done. Finally modify start management removal keyhole logic and add new logic for pulling hotkey presses. Okay, that's what we've done. This is added. Daemon is for directory monitoring. It's basically, this is what I use. Oh yeah, C++, yeah. C sharp, much so. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you certainly know this kind of stuff. So daemon is for directory monitoring. This is like what reads the save files, for example. The save folder. The hotkey manager has to be stopped as well, but this is like the function call, yeah. Okay, but now I've already implemented this function, but I just don't know where it's used. What is the error it's giving me? Yeah, it's related to this because it's not used. So like I'm using such strict compiler rules that not using a variable already makes it not compile, which that's fine. But I don't know if I'm putting this function in the right spots. Okay, whatever. Linux on Mac as well. Yes. Okay. I'll have to make sure that this is in the correct spot because this tracker going up to how many custom goals we have. Like, custom goals are the goals that support the custom counting with the hotkey. So it's only ever referring to the custom goals. So it's basically, you have, this is like, how do I explain it? These are different bags with certain properties and certain variables in them, and you're kind of unpacking those bags. Like those are called structs or like enums. It's mainly these are all structs, yeah. I think. Yeah, these are all structs. It's basically like you have this template data struct, which holds everything from what is in the template. And then within the template struct, you, for example, have trackable item, which is this struct right here. And like, yeah, it's nested in. It's great. Whatever. I'm like mostly understanding everything. Where was I? I was in main. GitHub link. Yeah, it's there's no releases yet, but you can. I'm always pushing everything to GitHub. Yeah, I'm making always sure that everything is pushed. I'll make the link available now. Right here. Should be very easy to find. This is the same Twitch name. But there's no releases yet. But you should be able, like, if you have some C compiler interface, with the CMake lists, you should be able to compile everything correctly. No issues there. A lot of the dependencies are like within the tracker file, so like everything is portable, pretty much. Okay. Now, yeah, that's the thing, right? Like, I use AI to help me, but I type all the code manually. I like do not copy any code. I type everything manually. And every week so far, I've done this twice. Every week, I take a couple hours and document through the entire code. Because that helps, not actively working towards new features, but like actively refining and optimizing code and being critical about like the logic of some things. So like every week, I like take my time and fully document through the code. Yeah, and isn't that gonna, okay. Thank you, MT, for checking. Thank you. All right, what do we do now? So we've implemented this. Stop searching once found, yeah. So we're basically iterating through the entire goal count, taking the individual goals, and looking what the hotkey for that goal is. And we perform the action +1 for incrementing, -1 for decrementing. And like 0 is do nothing. Like 0 is if it doesn't have any hotkey set or something. And trigger the UI update, which refers to this function that saves the progress back into the JSON file. Yeah, this basically saves the counter value back into the settings JSON. Okay. These are basically like flags. Atomics, they're weird. But they're like thread safe variables. I don't fully understand this kind of stuff, but it works. We load the settings. But would this compile now? Okay, this does compile, but I don't know if this already works as intended. This seems too simple. But no, I have it open. All right, let's see if this works. So now this is kind of the interesting part for you guys to kind of like see something happening. We're gonna go into the April Fool's snapshot because like in this version, I can like test everything that the tracker can do. No, it does not matter. Because it's the same because it's commutative. 1 + I. It's the same thing. And you see that a lot in C. It also doesn't matter like how you define the pointers. You can make a pointer out of like this. This is for like lists, to iterate through lists, but you can also make a pointer out of like this, and it's the same thing. Whether you take 1 and add the value of v, or you just take v and add the value of 1, like, it doesn't matter. This is basically how like indexing works in a long form. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Nowhere in C actually. But I like the plus at the end, so I'm sticking to that always. Larry's still useless. That's good. It's good. It's good. 2i still nice. Saves a rod. But I had looting, so I don't think that matters. All right, we're gonna go into like windowed because I want you guys to see stuff. Make the console a bit bigger. So this is the April Fool's snapshot. You guys know I want to speedrun all advancements on this because nobody has speedrun all advancements on the April Fool's snapshot ever before, because it's quite difficult. But I want to do that. So basically, I've defined certain advancements. All we care about right now is the custom goals, which is the Deep Slit Emerald count and the Diamond Ore count. Let's now see if this works. No. Oh, wait, I haven't started it yet. What am I doing? First need to start the tracker. Yep. Oh, it prints hotkey manager running every frame now. Why? Okay, why did I do that print? Okay, that's annoying. Oh, now... Wait, because I have the tracker always on top. You have to, like, drag this out. Yeah, that's fine. Tracker window's always on top now. Like, whatever you click, it's always on top. That's fine. You can still minimize it, yeah. But it wouldn't minimize this. Okay, you minimize those separately, that's fine. But the hotkey manager running, that's stupid. I need to remove that print or comment to that. Should be in main. I don't want to have that running every freaking frame. What? Where's it in here? Hotkey manager already running. We'll make this hotkey manager. I always want to like where I always want to know exactly which file the prints are coming from. It's very important to me. But I'll be copying this out for now. Or like commenting it out. Alright, then we compile again. We run it. Alright, now we're good. We minimize everything. Nothing is being displayed. Everything is still in the command line. So, now you guys can see, like, yeah, we have none of the advancements completed, but some sub-parts are completed. Like, yeah, the entire multi-stage thing is done, which adds a lot of progress. And the unlocks are completely done, which adds more progress to here. So basically, the progress is separated into advancements and everything else. So like sub-parts of an advancement, like certain biomes within adventuring time, those are tracked here. And then like every stage that gets completed within a multi-stage gets tracked here. Every custom goal, every unlock, every stat, everything else that isn't directly an advancement is tracked in the bottom one. Because I feel like advancements should be separate. That just makes the most sense. All right, we can dynamically just go into a new world, obviously. Name it Advancedly Test 15. Catch you later, Aaron. Allow cheats. The progress should go. Oh, we have standard settings. That's why it's going full screen. The progress should dynamically update. Yep. It immediately jumped to 4% because something is completed. Why are you on 4%? Actually. Huh? Oh, because this is completed. Yeah. That is one of the custom counters. You can basically toggle, and this is like where it gets crazy. in resources, config, right here. Notice how it's set to true. I can set it to false. Save. Segmentation fault. Okay. That's really bad. Why is that? That's the fun of C programming. Why is that? Okay. I have no idea. This is interesting. Why segmentation fault? I'm changing that. What is happening? C parse error. What is happening? Fail to load settings from... Oh. What is happening? It's just... Hotkeys. Why is it doing that? Fail to load settings file. Using default settings. Hold up, what? Oh no. Segmentation fault immediately. So memory problem somewhere. But is it a problem if I set this to true? No, okay, it's okay, segmentation faults anyways. Okay. I will finish the implementation first. And then worry about that, actually. That's weird. Okay. Close the edit? No. I know this is a memory leak issue. Lol. The most fun type. But I didn't change that much. I'll finish the implementation and then we'll figure out what is the issue. Okay. Cross-platform implementation. This version includes Windows code and before. Okay. Oh wait, what? To compile the Linux version, wait. Can I not do that? Oh, I think I have to drop support on Linux and Mac. I don't think that's gonna work. Oh, I don't think that's gonna work because of the hotkeys. That'd be so stupid. Okay, okay, I'm only gonna do that for Windows. Then. Okay, I'm only gonna do that for Windows. Yeah, okay. No, I can't be bothered. Because I can't test it. Okay, no, we'll go again. We'll go again. I have the power of AI helping me, so I'll give it my files that I just edited. And I just want to make sure that for Windows, I can have the custom global hotkeys, but not for Linux and Mac. I don't care about the other systems. I'm sorry. The tracker will support them, but not allow global hotkeys. I think that's fine. I think that's fine. Okay, what thing have we changed? Yeah. Hotkey manager. That's the nice thing with Git as well. I always know which files I've changed since I last like pushed a stable version. It's like really nice. So I know main.c, main.h, tracker.c. What did I change in tracker.c though? Some changes here. Oh yeah, I changed comment there. Oh yeah, I added this. I made this spacing here. Okay, no, the tracker.c doesn't matter. But with Git, it's so nice to just know what you've changed. CMake has everything. Or did I mess up in CMake? No. Casual. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm glad you're like finding reasons that seed actually sucked. Segmentation fault with this code. I want to make sure. I don't know why I'm not showing this, lol. I want to make sure that the Windows implementation works with global hotkeys, but Linux and Mac fall back to the regular hotkeys. Only working when they're tabbed into the tracker. Because then I don't have to throw this or like make this super complicated. Okay, let's see what happens. And then we'll see if we can actually work through some of the other stuff that I wanted to do. So basically, that's fine. I was on top setting. Wait, that is done already. So I want to actually add more customization to the settings. We're gonna allow the settings to save window position, to save color of like the window backgrounds, that kind of stuff. I want the text color to be defined there. That thing. That'll be nice. Ensuring the end of each loop iteration, having the background creates the loading pattern when memory. When a thread tries to use it, your application crashes. Your code is trying to. Yeah, that's what I meant. Like I got confused about that. This is so smart. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's basically when it's trying to access something that doesn't exist. Basically, that's what's happening with these segmentation faults. Both global hotkey system checking. Yeah. The fixed clean hybrid approach. Exactly. We're testing for exactly Windows. Okay. Let's look at that. We're going back in here. Okay, manager starts. We're gonna say if define Windows 32, so basically we're defining it to only work for Windows. Currently red because we haven't defined the other cases. We check if it's null, otherwise return 0. Like in that case, return 0. We set the flags for the global thread and like the hotkey specific one. Hotkey listener still okay. The settings. Error creating thread. No, that print I'm gonna keep. I'm not gonna print anything being successful because then it's just gonna print everything. Yeah. Return -1 on failure. And now it gets interesting. We put a hashtag else in here, which is gonna be the Linux and Mac OS implement Mac OS fallback for local hotkeys. Void settings. Void basically means it has no return value. But in this case, like suppresses. Press unused parameter warning. That's a good idea. Just suppress everything. Thank you so much, MT. I love how much you helped me to cope with that seed. It's beautiful. That's beautiful. Oh yeah, silence like purely depends, yeah. I mean you can locate like the closest instance you spawn and just see if it would have it. Otherwise go for place down a lot of ominous vaults and check the heavy core rate. Because that's purely seed based. That's purely seed based. Just go to MC Stacker. Just look for MC Stacker on Google. It's like a nice tool to create a command. If you don't know how to give yourself an ominous track. Oh wait, you already checked 11. Okay, yeah. I mean it's still below average. That's not horrible. Okay, we're looking into the main C, which again, this is like where everything is combined, basically. We first initialize the tracker. Right here. We say, okay, we initialize the tracker, or like we create a new tracker window, we create a new overlay window. Like the overlay is the blue thing, the tracker window is like the actual thing that you're gonna look at. The overlay is for the stream. If both of the like functions return success, then this entire thing is gonna be success. It's like a logical AND here. Both of this is gonna be successful, and then we're gonna run everything in here. This gets initialized. Demon Watch calls. Yup. Load settings once here for the hotkey manager. Oh, we load them here. Load settings for hotkey manager. We take the app settings struct and define a variable out of it. And we load a pointer to the app settings. So basically what we're doing, in C, you always, not always, but like most of the time, you work with memory addresses, which is one thing why this language is very unintuitive at the beginning. Basically, everything that the program uses during runtime, especially, will be saved in memory somewhere. And by putting this ampersand here, like this and symbol, it basically takes the memory address of where this object is spawned and passes it into the function. What this allows you to do, this is also when you see the star, because this takes the memory address of it. It's called a pointer. Basically, what allows this to, you basically you pass around the location of where this value is, so you can You're not passing around the value. You're passing around the location of where the value is, so you can change the value from no matter where you are. You just access the location. If you pass the value itself around, like you would add 4 plus 2 there, plus 6 there, and it would just like change the value entirely. So like with working with memory addresses, you can always make sure you're with the same value and you can access that value and you're not like manipulating it in a weird way. It's a bit complicated, but it makes a lot of sense once you get into it. So you're always passing around memory addresses, so you always see this star, like pretty much everywhere. It's so convenient to do that. Well, static is only a function definition that. So you put static for functions that are only used within the same file. It has nothing to do with like pointers. This static means that this function is only used in this file. So this function isn't even defined in the header. You don't find any static files in the header because static files are literally only used here. A function isn't static anymore as soon as you start using it in a different file. That's the main reason. It's keep code a little more clean. It's not really that important. But if I were to move this function into a different file and then import that file and like call the function, then I'd have to remove the static. Otherwise, my compiler would complain. But static is basically to signalize that functions are only used within the same file. That's all to it. And void basically means there's no return value. So this, for example, is like it just works within the function. It kind of does other function calls, but it doesn't return anything. There's no return value. None of these have return value. This, for example, returns an MC version. So return version unknown. This basically takes from the settings, it reads which Minecraft version you're playing and converts that properly. Otherwise, returns version unknown if it's problematic, or returns the version map value based on what is in here. So if you put 1.11 in the settings, it's going to convert it to this. Yeah. Look in Discord. Oh, brother. Would you have Doug down here? Sounds is in that city. Probably. Wow, that's close to spawn. Well, I don't know, actually. I would have prioritized sniffers, and then I might have flown a different direction ultimately. Do you see a wolf there? Is there a wooded Badlands wolf? Probably. I could see myself being down there, yeah. At least if it's like within the region and the tracker, like yeah, the Ninja Brainbot kind of points me there. I think I'm done the moment with this. Just yeah, you might be able to. Yeah. Yes, you can definitely. Yeah. Oh, yeah. For sure. Yeah, for sure. You can write it in front of variables as well. But I haven't really used that here. I think static and const are quite similar. When you put const, you like don't change the value of it once it's defined. I think that's what it is, sort of. But I'm not sure if that's the same. No, it's not the same with static. No, yeah, you can definitely do it with. Yeah, you can definitely do it with variables. Definitely. Okay. We go back to main. God, I have so many freaking files. Yeah, that's not surprising, MT. How crazy that you found silence already. So that's defined. Start with global hotkey manager once. We'll only do something on Windows. Okay. Hotkey. We call the function key manager start. We call the functions with the pointer to the app settings, so with the memory address to the app settings, and start global hotkey manager only for Windows. Okay. Then we set up the flags. We get into the while loop. Then this is quite interesting. This is some calculation. we take a current time, define it as a float as SDL get ticks. This basically, wait, does it say exactly what it does? Yeah, get number of milliseconds since SDL library initialization. So basically this is just kind of a timer, and when this current time, like the difference between the current time and the last frame, divided by 1,000, so we get milliseconds. This difference is the delta time, and we make sure that this delta time is always close to like 16.6 milliseconds or whatever, which would be 60 frames. So this is basically a way how we can guarantee that the tracker is going to run perfectly at 60 frames. There's more logic at the bottom. Because this adapts to how long the program takes to run and always makes sure it's 60 seconds. Basically, if the program is quicker in handling all the tasks, it's going to delay on purpose to make sure it's 60 frames. But also with the same logic, we can set the tracker to be like 1,000 frames or whatever. But that would be stupid. Okay, that's defined. Hotkey logic. Hey, I appreciate that you still enjoy this. Yeah, no, sleep well, dream well. Thank you so for being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll definitely let you know once the full thing is ready to be messed around with. I think you'll enjoy it, and I really appreciate your help. And I probably do this more often because I have too much fun working on this. I really do. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Sleep well, dream well. Much love. Thank you so much again for the sub. You absolute legend. 40 month. No, you gotta be the longest running sub right now. You gotta be. If they're refilling water soon. Say how I guess. Alright. I think I just actually get rid of this entire block. Rest of main loop settings check. What? That's my main loop settings check. Oh, is it this if settings? I think I can get rid of this entire thing. Oh, this doesn't feel right. I'm gonna comment it out for now. Wait, that makes is running undefined? That can't be right. What the hell is running? That makes no sense. Where are you defined? You're not defined in there. You're here. What? It's here. What are you yapping? Oh, it causes issues with the freaking braces. I need to be careful. That's what it is. Because I opened this up. I should just not do this. Oh, I don't like this. Why it's so annoying. And again, different. That's crazy. No, I need this hotkey logic. Okay, we use get atomic int on this. Do the action. Is this where I want to be? This does not look right. No, it does. Okay. We do this. Record template data custom goal count. Yep. And it's the I++, tracker goal, custom goal. Yep. Then we compare the string. We compare if these are equal. And if this is equal, it's going to output 0. So, like, that's going to make the if statement true if these are equal. And then we increment the action progress. So, -1. Things save custom progress, template data. And we set it back to 1 and break. And now we have... But I haven't done the Windows thing. It's like right here. If define Windows 32. I'll pull that in here. Okay. On Windows, global hotkeys will work. Okay. Then we add the else here and make it. This is now the Linux and Mac OS. It's application focused hotkeys. How many brackets are going open? It's this one, that's this one, that's that one. Does this work? Okay, the Linux implementation. We're just gonna type that out. Unsigned integer 8 bits. Create a pointer to the key state. So like where the memory address is of this thing. For one head? I love how we're all like you're checking this all. Damn, I'm so cooked on that seed then. What am I making? Constituent 8. Boom. Brackets. This basically forces the right type. Oh, for the 3. Okay. I guess that's alright. Yeah, here you can see. Now Aaron is gone. Yep, we are using a static for something that just does not change and is only within this function. Static. That does not make sense. Did I have the if change down there as well? Wait, this is okay. This code is so weird. Where's the 100? It's here. Well, it's running. Wait, what? What's up here? Oh, this makes no sense to me. Oh my god. This makes no sense to me. Oh, this is so confusing. Maybe I am too tired, but let's get this working. This is part of coding. Figuring things out. Obviously, it's a lot easier now. I'm eating some berries, by the way, for those are wondering. Some amazing berries, handpicked from our own garden. Pretty awesome. Okay. Okay. Form. So the fortress was like really bad. Or how did you test it? Did you just spawn them in? Okay, I'll quickly refill my water. Be right back. All right. I'll have the window open now. Okay, I think it's just gonna work. I'm gonna start a new chat on Gemini. I think I'm starting to break it. I've reached its context limit. Let me start a new chat here. Yeah. Not working. Okay, so we're starting fresh. So I'm giving it all the project files. No one to spawn, that's crazy. Okay, I'm just giving it all the files that it needs. No, I think you checked most of it. I mean, you can look for like big groves and apply glowing to all wolves and see if any of the wolves are grove wolves. I think that one can be annoying. I can try to look for the Badlands wolves. I don't know how far you want to go. Like look for trail ruins or whatever. As the template and language. Okay. Basically, this implement global hotkeys for Windows, but local hotkeys where you have to be tabbed into tracker for Linux and Mac isn't quite correct yet, mainly talking about main.c. Let me fix it. Non-spawn, yeah, that's like brutal. Like looking for another desert in Badlands is insane. That means you've definitely 5,000 blocks to go or something. Because by my logic, it has to kind of, you go from a desert to, it gets really cold until you hit like the snowy biomes, and then it gets warm again, and then you'll hit the desert again. Like, I don't think, maybe you'll hit the desert before snowy sometimes, but like I feel like it has to first become a snowy and then it goes desert again. No, I know it's not always, but like, it does feel that way. Okay. Significant efficiency and logic issues. The Windows implementation fails to reset the atomic flag and performs extremely slow file operations in the main game loop in every frame. Help to correct the logic, be efficient and work in this intended. Key user management. Windows logic by the code and everything. Never resets to zero. This means that condition be true every single frame thereafter, causing the global. Right. The L1 is highly inefficient. It calls on every frame repeatedly reversing. Yeah, exactly. Forms null settings read full and write full of the settings JSON while key is held down, which is extremely slow and unnecessary. This isn't logic. The code in updating progress is duplicate and handled differently from Windows, whereas other platforms are unified no matter what you state. Result should be processed in the same way. Wait a minute, you correct the refix it. Okay. Both the Windows and the Mac code block are not only responsible for detecting key press, updating the program memory. Okay. Okay, let's see if this works. Okay. Because I've been placing the if-else things wrong. What the hell are we? We're here. Last hotkey time. I don't want to be in the is running loop with that. I guess. That all works. That all works. Okay, hotkey logic. Okay. We say the hotkey is initially not triggered. Yeah. LNXS is still only. Wait, we talked about that. That is insane. Is it that? Like, is he trying to update it, or is like just not working on it right now? That's crazy. Like, hotkey was triggered. Okay, that all works. This is all correct. And we have the else block. Where does it end? It ends on the same level as the if it's running. Check end if. That will fix some error. No. No, it's one level inwards. That's insane. Yeah, it's one level inwards. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so we got that working. Okay. So within the else block now. All of this tracking is handled. Oh, this is the hotkey manager. Wait, what? But where am I actually decreasing stuff now? I don't get that. Welcome back, Dogmaster. I've decided resetting doesn't make more sense, and I'm too motivated to work on the tracker. So like, bit of developing. I'll probably do this more on stream though. So just using some time from the stream as well. Okay, and I'm trying to make it so hotkeys work. So for Windows, because Windows is great, for Windows we can make it work that hotkeys that you press anywhere will work with the tracker. But for Linux and Mac, it's only gonna work with the hotkeys if you have the tracker selected as the active window. Like if you're tabbed into the tracker, for Linux and Mac, you have to tab into the tracker for the hotkeys to work. And for Windows, yeah, Windows is just the easiest to deal with. With Linux and Mac, I just can't do that. So the tracker will support Linux, Mac, and Windows, but the hotkey counting is only going to work globally for Windows. Who are you and what have you done with Linus? No, Windows is great. Windows is great. Windows is great. Sorry. Stand with that. Okay. We define the key state from SDL. We don't need to load this anymore because this is loaded at the top. Hotkey manager starts. We started up here. Like, why are we starting it down there? Go away. We also don't need this anymore, I think. Okay, then we do like iterate through the already loaded hotkeys. Also, totally welcome, by the way. Didn't greet you properly. So we iterate through like how many hotkeys we have. In this case, my current hotkey count is 4 because like I have 2 goals defined with their own individual increment decrement counters. So like we count manually how many deep slot emeralds we have. I know like this could be tracked with the picked up block statistic or like mind block statistics or whatever. Probably picked up would make more sense because then you can assure you're not breaking it with the wrong pickaxe. But I've defined it as custom goals because like easier to explain. And both of them have different increment keys, page up, page down, home ends, which are like up and down, yeah, whatever. And again, a list of all the key names you can use here is on the GitHub as well. Or it's like linked. I've made a small yeah, list of all hotkeys can be found here. I've made a very small paste bin right here. That basically, these are all the keys you can use. You just put it exactly like that with obviously quotes on each side. As long as you put it in quotes, you just take exactly what is on the paste bin. Yeah, macOS is like really complicated. But I'm surprised because everything else from the tracker should work for Linux and Mac as well. Which is pretty cool though. And that most of it comes from like the libraries that I'm using. They add support for all of that. Okay, we go back into main. And so we basically want to see, okay, we have this hotkey. Which goal is it bound to? So we create a hotkey binding based off of like indexing the list where the hotkey is. So we iterate through all the hotkeys. We initialize a goal, and then we look at yeah, we set the target goal to be whatever custom goal is. Whatever custom goal is here. Like this is the target goal. So we look at the hotkeys and we check what is here. That's what we do with the target goal and like string compare. We compare the target goal to what we're iterating through. What? I'm trying probably something stupid right now. What? That you fumbled a lot on the last 2 messages. Heck yeah. Okay, what are you doing? Right. Target goal continued. Check if increment or decrement key is pressed. If the increment key is pressed, we update the progress. Otherwise, we say hotkey triggered is true. Wait, hotkey trigger does not define anywhere. Is that defined anywhere? Hotkey trigger is defined above. That's just that. No, in the Windows division. Oh. Wait, huh? This makes no sense to me. We're not doing this. Hotkey triggered is set to true. Okay. Only assigned but never accessed. That is not true. It is assigned here. Oh, because it's like Windows exclusive. It like doesn't fully check that off. Okay, whatever. That's fine. Okay. Yeah, don't worry, don't worry. Don't die. That would be good, yeah. Okay. If we don't have any target goal, we just skip the rest of the loop. That's what this continue does. So like we skip out until we start here again. And then we like check, okay, if this changed variable is true, then we go into the loop. A lot of if statements in this language is just how it is. Okay, we increment progress. That's set to true. We decrement progress, and that's set to true. Hotkey triggered. And from here, if hotkey, if hotkey triggered, we break out of the loop. Stop searching when it's found. Or like, yeah, it's better to just say process one hotkey per frame. Yo, Yumeko! Hiya! Hiya! I'm working on my tracker. This will be a big deal. To run it down, basically, you'll be able to create your own template files. I'll make like a file creating system within the settings of the tracker. Shouldn't be the biggest deal, but basically, you'll be able to like fully specify what you want to track, and the tracker is going to dynamically adapt to that. That's the main core principle. So you can tell the tracker exactly which advancements, which unlocks. It does support the April Fool's snapshot because I really want to speedrun that. It supports recipes. It supports anything that is in statistics. It supports custom counters, or like custom advancements that you can manually check off. It supports counters, and it supports multi-stage goals, which is like, you know, first it tracks how many shells you get. Once you have 8 shells, it says like shells complete, and then it switches over to like craft the conduit, and then you can finish crafting the conduit. Then it's gonna switch over to complete how to get here. It's gonna switch over to like basically you complete one thing, it switches to the next stage, to the next stage, to the next stage, and then it prints how many advancements you've completed and like how many individual parts you've completed. It's all gonna be relatively cool visualized. The tracker isn't gonna be as fancy as like the AA tool we have now, but you can literally make the tracker work for any kind of mods. The tracker will work. You can make the tracker work for like Blazing Caves, for example. Like you can do that. You just have to go through the effort of creating all the advancements for that. And you have to tell the tracker how the advancements are called. That's the main thing. But you will be able, obviously I'll download like all the Minecraft item PNGs. Those you'll be able to choose from. But other than that, you can freely define what advancements you want to have tracked, and the tracker is going to only track exactly that. And you'll have so many options. So basically, possibilities are endless. You can fully customize your tracker with your own categories, with your own, like, you can choose which version you want, and then create a template file with a language file. So in here, it's exactly the same, like, naming as in here. This is exactly how it's gonna display. Yo, thank you the follow. Thank you so much. Oh my god. Wait, I do 10 push-ups for every follow, so yeah, I need to do those real quick. Wait, I have 3 followers in GitHub already? Let's freaking go. Wait, no, that probably means I'm following 3 people. Right? Nice to been. No, yeah, that's I'm following 3 people. I'm following 3 people. Yeah. This is Mikarific, who made the April Fool's snapshot mod stuff. This is obviously Oscar and Pineapple, who worked on the Ninja Main bot as well. Yeah, it fully supports mods and data packs. It's not bound to like the Minecraft namespace. Which is very cool. It fully supports everything. You feel special? Yo, thank you so much. Thank you. Alright, let me do the push-ups real quick. Yumeko, thank you so much for the follow. Man, I appreciate that. I really, really do. Let's switch over here. Yumeko absolutely goated. What a 21 AA runner as well. And yeah. Happy Sunday to you. Yay! I have a follower and it's Xenon. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. That your account is Xenon. That's insane. Ah, that gives me flashbacks. But yeah, I'll like obviously promote my GitHub more once we get there. Oh, nice! My repository has received 1 star. That's cool. Whoever gave me that. Wait, I can give myself a star. How do I see who gave me that star? I have no idea. Alright, whatever. I'll definitely be promoting it more, because it's gonna be a big deal. I think this is a tracker, like, I think people wanted to have this tracker. In a way. Like, a lot of speedrunners, I think, dreamt from having a tracker where they can just, like, track whatever they want. I feel like that's been kind of a thing for a while. And with the help from Oscar initially, I finally managed to make that possible. Okay, it doesn't seem to break anything, so that's good. Yeah. I'll make it as user-friendly as possible to create these template files. The only downside with modded stuff is that you will have to manually download the icons the tracker should display. Like, if you want modded items, modded icons to be displayed on the tracker, you will have to manually download them and put them into the files. I cannot download all the like PNGs for all the mods. Like, that's not gonna work. I'm gonna have all the vanilla ones, but you will be able to download the files. And like the cool thing is, mainly talking about vanilla stuff, you can just pass around, like, you can import and export these template and language files. They always go together. You always need both for it to properly work. You can just import, export the template and language files, and anyone can play your categories. Like, it's that easy. And obviously the tracker already fully works. You can switch instances. Like, the tracker is running, and while the tracker is running, you can switch instances You can change the template files. You can do anything. The tracker is not going to break. It's going to switch the file watching. So if you switch from one instance to the next, it's going to ignore the previous instance, and it's going to watch the new one and check for file updates. That's pretty clever. Some cool stuff here. Okay, and it fully supports, like, fully. The tracker works for Windows, Linux, and Mac, and currently the main issue is that only Windows is going to support global hotkeys, so that you can be, like, in Minecraft and hotkeys mess with the tracker. Only on Windows I can do that. On Linux and Mac, you have to tab into the tracker for the hotkeys to work. There's nothing I can do. Unified action after hotkey press. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Unified action after hotkey press. Most trackers I've seen are simply forks of the original AA tool. No, this is completely new. Because the actual AA tool everyone uses now is in C++. The current AA tool is in C++. This is completely in C. So I'm on a lower level actually. But I decided to use C because I do have some code that initially helped me with this from Oscar, and he was completely doing it in C. I'm now like using newer versions of like all the libraries and stuff, but I think this is really exciting to do in C now. Yeah, I started completely fresh, and it's a completely different foundation. Nothing is based off of the other tracker. Okay, so we check if the hotkey was triggered, which is like this flag. It decrements, increments, whatever. We just check if there was a hotkey triggered, and then make sure that when the hotkey flag is true, then we check whether we need to update anything. And we don't always check. We only check if the hotkey was actually triggered. We use the current time from above because that is already doing the SDL get ticks. So whenever you see SDL, that is like the foundation that allows me to do window rendering and all that stuff. SDL is what you use for that. What are you complaining? Narrowing conversion from float to UN32. Okay. UN32. We'll just fix it like that. Save the change to the settings. Yep. Okay. Oh, it's not fully updated. The corners are at like 72%. We literally reached the 3rd nether corner today. Basically, I have a survival world where I'm currently traveling to every single nether corner, which is like, it takes a year, roughly. And we're like 10 months in, I've reached the 3rd nether corner today. No, so here's the thing. Anything that works, anything you can read from statistics, you can make use of. So you can say, you want to mine. I hope I can show this in a second. Let me finish this and then I'll show it actually. Anything that is uniquely defined in statistics, you can make use of. You can add a target goal, and whenever that statistic reaches that goal, it will mark it as complete and update the progress. It's literally as customizable as I can currently imagine, actually. And I'm very perfectionistic, and I really try to implement anything that I find exciting. So, okay, save the changes to settings.json and trigger UI update. Yeah, okay. This function reads and writes the entire file. And I'm just gonna say that's fine. I don't care if that's like bad for performance. However, they correctly maintain the existing file structure. Yeah. No, I'm like so fine with that. The settings file is never gonna be that big. It can't get. Because you're also limited to only 16 hotkeys currently. We use setting save custom progress and pass the tracker template data. Okay. And then, hello? We set the atomic integer, pass in the pointer, and set it to 1. Yep. Good. Close immediately if app not running. Okay, wait, we should be done. This should just work now. No, it does not. Oh, this isn't hotkey manager. Did I not finish this? I don't need this anymore. I don't think. Remove the if def. See you in a sec. Thank you so much, Jamaica, for being here. All right, let's see if I can get this working. Like, that would be good progress for today, actually. I'd be very happy about that. Okay. What are we on about? This doesn't close off properly. This L is not correct. Oh, because it doesn't have an end if. I just didn't finish this. What no? Else. And then I need to put the end if here. And then it returns 0. Okay, we're good. That is pretty cool. I appreciate that. Okay, it compiled. That is really good. That is really, really good. Get rid of this. Okay. Compile them. Alright, hopefully I have something to show for now. We run it again. Settings window is always going to be on top. This, we can also close. Alright, so this now shows the current progress of the latest world here, which is Advanced Leaf 15. You can see Advanced Leaf 15 as the title that we're tracking, like the latest world. It also notices the speedrun IGT record.json, which I guess triggers an update. I could probably ignore this. This is like a speedrunning IGT thing. It just detects any .json file that might be interesting. But then it also, yeah, it checks the stats, the advancements, and the unlocks, which are obviously specifically this version. And now we can just go in, like just play the game. Now let's see. A little bit of progress has already happened because this thing is already completed. We can now go in there. Like within this settings file, you can now set this to false. Oh, and it crashes. Okay. Why does it do that? I mean, now it's incomplete and the progress is on 0. Why does that? No, now it works. Huh? Why did it crash there? We can increase the count to 3, to 0. You can see that change right here. We can say, okay, we have 10 diamond ores. Like, look right here. Boom, it makes it 10, and it's completed. Also, if we go higher, it's just gonna keep on counting, but it's gonna stay completed. If we do 9, it's gonna switch back to incomplete. I don't know why that just crashed. Can I make it crash again, please? No, it's not crashing anymore. Alright, let's see if it worked with the hotkeys. No. Oh, it starts printing weird stuff. Wait, what? What is happening? Does not work. What's going on? Just constantly prints it all the time. It's like so weird. I don't know what's happening. This does not work. If I select the tracker, will it then work? Nope. Okay, that does just not. Pressing the buttons doesn't increase nor decrease the counter. That's weird. Because I see how this bar is moving? I think it's just constantly pressing. It's constantly updating. It's like printing these stats every frame. But obviously if I'm locked at the bottom, it like doesn't move. What is going on here? No, I don't want to close that. I'm going to close it. Still says freed. Didn't get any immediate error print. Also, Regid, welcome in. I'm not going to stream for too much longer. But that's frustrating. I really want to show this. Does the remaining stuff still work? Does the remaining stuff still work? Just to have something to show. Of course, the breaks when I'm on stream. Yeah, it triggers a couple updates on joining. Okay, basically you guys can see one of the goals here is mine 8 dirt. So this just tracks how much dirt I've actually mined. Like the very first block I broke was like grass, so I have to mine there. Okay, unlock starter ender pearl, so it's like unlock grant EP only Minecraft ender pearl starter. Then it's gonna switch to iron armor, so that just works. Does looking at the settings file still break it? True. Yes, that just breaks it. Why does it do that? Immediately crashes it. I'm tired for this. Like, of course I decide to do like the most complicated thing on stream. But whatever. No ingot. That's still good though. That's basically an ingot. Why does that crash it though? When I update a manual goal, like now it works. Oh. Failed to load or parse settings file. Found latest world. 119.4 test. Why did it reset my settings? Okay, what just happened? This is interesting. You chasing parse error? It reset. Oh, well, I know what's happening. Because this is in a completely wrong format. Oh, because I made a typo. Oh, that makes sense. Okay, I just made a typo. Yeah, I mistyped, thank you. Was that the reason why it crashed, though? Okay, now it doesn't crash anymore. Yeah, I mean, this... You're never gonna manually type here. This is just gonna be like you clicking on a checkbox and, like, unclicking it. Okay, true, it increases the progress. False, it decreases the progress. Okay, no, that's fine. Still, the counters don't work, though. No, the counters don't work. Oh, settings, the console. I just check different. Okay, no, this, yeah, so that was just a typo. I hope that's fine. I can change the count manually here. Yeah, that's fine. That's like an on 8. I've tested that. We can also set, yep, we have an Unbreaking 3 book now. That's going to set it to true, increase the progress further. But it prints it like all the time. That's an issue. Oh, it prints it every 100 milliseconds. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This has to be 10 times per second. Because that is exactly the loop we're using. Oh. Okay. Okay. That's something I need to fix. Because this should only update if the game files are changed. I can't get the mods to get them into, and yet somehow I apparently have a mod installed. That's not possible. What? Oh, that's fun. I can't help you with that. I'm sorry. Want to make sure the only triggers an update every time the save files get updated or modified. Save files or settings JSON get modified. Currently, the debug print. The debug print is what we're looking at right now. Is printing every 100 milliseconds. Also, the counter completely broken. This does not work. One thing I would quickly want to check. Does changing the saves path actually work during runtime? If I change the save path to be the snapshots world, for example, I should be able to do that. It's gonna be this path. You can paste in whatever is on Windows. This is really convenient. I guess it's also fine if you do it like this. It's gonna... You're running. Oh, this is the wrong one. I'm stupid. Need to go into this one. That break it? No? And it reached a different world. Okay, cool. That still works. We revert it. Boom. And it updated it to the correct world again. Yeah. Wait, is it running every... No, it's actually fine. But am I stupid? Now it updated correctly, but I'm still confused. That triggered an update. That triggered an update. Maybe that is not an issue. Now it's not anymore. That's so weird. Oh, it's 100% gonna come up before I'm done with the achievement challenge. 100%. Down to the next level? We are down to the next level. Wait, so I don't know if that's an issue, actually. Okay. Close the tracker. Everything's freed. That is good. Okay. Then this is gonna be the last thing I'm gonna do today. Oh wait, I think YouTube is actually gonna complain now that I've been live for too long. I think YouTube is gonna split this stream up. We'll see how that's gonna work. That's the main reason why I'm only going for 12 hours. I think I would have done a little longer stream if YouTube wouldn't be annoying. Let's see. I think YouTube is gonna split this up now, because YouTube doesn't allow 12 hours longer than that. Done editing next. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's like actually true. That's like actually true. But it's cool to see that you guys enjoy this, so I'll probably do more coding on stream. Let's get this fixed, please. Let's get this fixed. Representing calling. This bypasses the file watching creates the update loop you're setting. Fix, remove the line. But I don't know if it's an issue now, actually. Yell set. Do I want to do that? Is this line unique? Or is that used anywhere else? I used 4 times. Where do I want to remove that? This is all the same. Oh, this is what you want to remove? Does this need to be removed? Okay. I don't know. We'll figure that out. We'll figure that out. All right, let me finish this. Okay. Tracker. We'll go into beautiful tracker.c. This is by far my biggest file. For loading the present site if log ran if the settings failed to load. What? That's a lie. Settings, save. I'm not too sure on whether this is correct or not. Resetting existing file. Create JSON object. Yup. We check for the custom progress. Update based on this. Create the. Oh, okay. Use replace which handles both adding new items and updating existing ones. Okay. Oh, there's like a bug at my feet. The progress for each can choose an object. So this closes this. This is this. We replace this entirely. Checking the goal greater than 0. And a counter save numerical progress. This is actually the fix. I'm gonna be very impressed. Place item in object. Progress object. Item root name. JSON create number. Item progress. Yep. Else for the toggle goals. Simple toggle save boolean. JSON replace item audit reader boolean I've been done. Okay. I don't see an issue with that. Right, the modified back with the right flag, back into the file, we close the file and all that jazz. Wait, it closes the file? Oh, we have another if flag here. That makes sense. We check if that string is anything. Then we actually that's not the right thing. And we do this. We free it all from memory. That's outside. We delete that. Okay. Let's see if that works. Delete these. Because of what? Oh. Wait, can I delete it now? I still can't delete it. Config. Why do you not let me delete? Please, button. Hello? What is accessing it? Oh, this. Okay. That's it. Yeah. Was that text file in there was still open? Okay, compiled successfully, that's good. I'm really not sure if that fixes the hotkeys yet. I think there's more work to do. I'm like pretty confident there's more work to do. Yeah. They do not work. The updates are triggered correctly. Definitely. But the counters do not work. Okay. No, there's probably more to that. We'll figure it out. Okay. That's fine. That is a first test on kind of streaming this as well. A little frustrating because I literally decided to do like the most complicated thing today. But I didn't see any other option. It's fine. We'll get that working. We will get that working. Guys, I'm really gonna go to bed now. Been a good stream though. Some good run attempts, I guess. Game is just messing with me. It's whatever. And yeah. We'll get some tracker progress done as well. We'll have it fixed. Thank you guys for being in the stream. Thank you, Dogmaster. Thank you so much for all the support and love. You guys are awesome. And I'll see you all in like 15 hours. I'll be live again with some interactive stuff / variety, whatever kind of we see fit. I think tomorrow we'll actually do some like GeoGuessr parties. I think. So that will be interactive. And that gave a lot of engagement last time. So that was really, really fun. That's crazy, MT. Yeah, that'll be interesting. I don't know when I'll get to your mod pack, but I have it. Anyways, thank you so much, guys, for being here all the way up till now, especially MT as well, being in the same time zone as me. You're crazy. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you all. And see you very soon. Bye-bye.